Welcome to Classic Coach, where every week we are reposting an original episode of the Roach Koach podcast. This episode is number 1. Our very first episode published it on June 13th, 2016. Lorin Kozlowski, Jennifer Bloomer, and I handled the very first Korn record. I have to say that of all the episodes that we have done, this particular episode we still get feedback to this day on. So sit back, relax, hit like, and subscribe. Enjoy some Classic Coach.
Are you ready?
All right, welcome to the first episode of the Roach Koach podcast. My name is Lorin Kozlowski. Across from me, my co-host in this journey through Nu-Metal, Jennifer Bloomer.
Hello.
How you feeling tonight, Jennifer?
Really good.
It's finally happening.
It's finally happening.
We're doing the show.
Been listening to this Korn album for weeks.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've never been more immersed in Korn than right now in my life. Even though I was way into them back in 1998. Like now I'm like really thinking about them, thinking deep.
It's different when you're in your 30s.
It certainly is. I guess we should talk about basically the idea for this podcast is that there is no Nu-Metal Canon. If you go and look for a funk canon or a rap canon or even an alternative canon, there's obvious touchstone albums that everybody knows and you can look them up. But Nu-Metal is not... People don't like it that much. I mean, we like it.
I think more people like it than admit that they like it.
Well, I was going to say, when we started talking about doing this show, you were like, okay, sure, that sounds like a fun thing. But since then, I've been sending you links. You've been sending me links of like, it's like reigniting in the zeitgeist.
It's back.
It's back. I mean, we've got this, the Hoax Limp Bizkit show that was supposed to happen in Dayton, Ohio at a gas station.
Yeah.
And then
Return of the Dreads tour.
Coming
through this summer.
That's right.
Tickets
Korn.
purchased.
That's right.
Already.
Tickets are purchased. Yes,
We're ready
that's
to
right.
go.
And then we just random people posting Limp Bizkit stuff on Facebook, like that don't know us or know us that well.
It's true.
And so it's like people are ready for this. People are ready to reassess these albums and these bands. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, if nothing else, we're ready to reassess these.
That's right. That's right.
Good enough.
So tonight we're going to start out with, I think, the album that everybody agrees started it all, Korn, by Korn.
Yep, according to the internet, that is true.
That is true. And I have in front of me, I've dug out my old disc. It was very dusty. Let me ask you, when did you get this album?
I never got that
You
album.
never got this album?
I was not allowed to have that album.
Really?
It's true.
Okay.
I had to listen to it at my friend's house. So it held like a special, dangerous quality.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to listen to it at my friend's house and I'd be like, oh, this guy's so mad. He's swearing so much, man. Like it was a total danger zone for me.
It definitely, going back and listening to it the past couple of weeks, I definitely realized how much this album taught kids of our, I hate to say kids of our generation, but like kids who grew up our age, who are now in their 30s, how to swear.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like there is, I believe, like a interlude skit. I think it's before Divine or Clown. I can't remember. I think it's before Clown.
I think it's before Clown.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's before Clown.
Yeah. Where they're like just talking to each other,
yeah.
riffing in the studio, and they're just saying fuck back and forth. And that also on my real listen, I was sitting there and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself with this, but this track 6 on this album is the song and I remember at the time they were like, it's not homophobic, we're talking about being bullied. But re-listening and then listening to them riff before Clown, it's kind of homophobic.
It's completely homophobic.
It is.
I have a lot of feelings about
You have a
this
lot of
record.
feelings.
I do. And I want to say to your point about how it teaches kids to swear, this album is like the equivalent of when kids get away from their parents for the first time, like at a theme park or something, and everything they say is a swear.
Yes.
They're just like, look at this fuck knee. And you're like, what are you even swearing at? Like, you just can. It's like, well, I think Jonathan Davis was well away from his family by the time we got to this, judging by Daddy, which, holy shit. That is not a headphone listen, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it isn't. Because it was like 10 minutes of crying? Thereabouts?
It's a lot of crying.
A lot of crying.
It's a lot of crying. Very graphic.
Very graphic.
I used to get so pissed off at my parents that they wouldn't let me get like this record, because all the kids at school that I thought were like totally awesome, but like totally scared me because I never did anything. I was like, they probably do drugs on the weekend. They all had this, and I was like, my parents are really holding me back. But listening to this as an adult, like, I would not let my kid have this. No way. I don't have a kid, but if I did, won't let him have it.
Well, the funny thing for me, and I do have a kid, but he's 7 months old. It feels very benign to me now. I think we were talking about this. Like this was the edgy stuff, and it doesn't feel that edgy anymore.
Well, this was like the edgy stuff in like mainstream, but
sure.
Like okay, so this same year I was like looking into this. This is the same year that Cannibal Corpse released Hammer Smashed Face.
Ooh.
Which was the song that they played in Ace Ventura.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, there were a lot of sort of intense things that were out in the ether. But, I mean, as far as like mainstream stuff was concerned, like, yeah, hearing this on the radio was... It scared the shit out of me. I was afraid.
I got this album for Christmas from my aunt. I want to say when I was in 10th grade or 9th grade. I got it after, like, good time after it actually come out, because it came out in 1994. I remember I put it on my list not thinking I would get it, and she bought it for me. I was blown away, and my mom was like, you bought him this? It's got a parental advisory. And she's like, yeah, that's what he wants. So I mean, I remember that was like get out of jail free card or something. I was like, my aunt bought it for me, you can't take it away, it's a gift. I remember listening to it in my room, and either listening to it on headphones or like listening to it really loud, and then when swears would come, I'd turn it down and then turn it back up again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I remember the first time I heard Blind was on headphones, waiting for my sister to finish picking out school clothes at a JCPenney, and it was playing on like 89X or something, and I was like, what is this? And they were like, it's Korn, new band. And I was so excited about just that song that I wrote Korn on my folder in school. And then I found out, after it'd been on my folder for maybe a month or so, that it's Korn with a K and not Korn with a C.
Oh, I love that so much.
And
I love that.
That was a great moment for me. Yeah, finding out that I didn't walk in road just the word Korn. Now, I looked up some reviews of this album from when it came out. And the most interesting thing I found is, do you know who Robert Christgau is?
No.
He is considered the dean of American rock critics.
Okay.
And he reviewed the album and he hated it. And he said that, and I didn't find anything else when I looked around, maybe you found this, that Korn is apparently supposed to be a combination of kiddie porn.
That makes sense. I don't like it at all.
I don't either. I don't like it at all.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Well,
it really puts this album cover into context,
I was
too,
just going
right?
to say, well, geez, pals, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I think maybe instead of recording this album, some therapy should have been doled out.
Yes. Okay, now that's one of the pluses, I think, of this album, in a way, is the fact that it's so unbridled and raw vocally. There's a moment where Jonathan Davis has this long rant that, listening to it today, makes no sense. The rant doesn't make sense. Like, it sounds like it's like a put down, but if you break it down, it doesn't really make any sense. And he basically ends it with, "You'll suck my fucking dick and like it." But he screams it to a point where it sounds like his body is like levitating because he's so angry. Like, that seems to be the inherent issue with this whole album, is that he's so angry that sometimes it's almost irrespective of the music. Like, he's just like, they're over there playing something and he's just like screeching, which I think is a plus for it, actually, because it feels like a very specific moment for him.
Yes, I do think it feels very specific for him, but I read all the lyrics to this album.
You read all the way. Okay.
I had
All
to
right.
after
Okay.
I listened to it about 15 times, and I was like, I have no idea what he's trying to get across. And I'll tell you what, I still don't.
Mhm.
It's mostly just like, I'm mad.
Okay. So this was something I had written down in regards to Need To. Need To seems like the Korn thesis statement. It's basically saying my libido is in control of me. What do I do? The song is like, I need to fuck, but why? I don't even know why, and I kind of hate that I do.
That's true. Also, the lyrics of the song imply that the whoever it is that he wants to bone is in a relationship already.
Oh,
and
man.
he's having a hard time with that.
Oh.
I'm trying. I started out really feeling like, what the fuck am I listening to? Why? I see why my parents let me have this. I don't really feel too bummed that I missed it. Although when he screams, "Are you ready?" I still get kind of excited, and that's embarrassing.
That is still
that's embarrassing. At
yeah.
the top of Blind, I was like, yeah, you know what, John?
Yeah.
I am. As I went on and I read more about like how he had a terrible childhood and all these feelings I have, I started to feel some empathy for Jonathan Davis. And I was like, okay, you know what? Like maybe this was just your outlet. Maybe this is just what you needed at that time. Why are you so angry? Where's the injustice? Where's the injustice, John? Why are you so mad? And I started to like really feel for him. And then I opened up the CD that you brought and I looked, and there inside there are several pictures of like nudie magazines of women called Slut, and they all have their eyes covered and it says bitch, whore. And I was like, dude, come on. This whole album's about like being mad at, well, people and women.
Yeah. And
I just feel like, you know, he was like in his early 20s when he made this, so maybe I should have a little bit more patience, but I don't know. The end of the song you were talking about before, Need To.
Yes.
Here are the last lines. Are you ready?
Please, yes.
Fuck, 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 slut. So like that's really what they are.
Yeah.
And I wrote that down because I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I know it was 1994, but come on.
Yeah. Can we go through this track by track? Can we do this track by track? I think that's really the way to do it.
Agreed.
Okay. So all right.
Okay, here's the part where I'm still on board.
Yeah, so yeah, this is like iconic right here. Like this is as good of a first track of this era, I think. Like if you're going to open an album,
this is a good opener.
This is a good opener. And, you know, it's building that tension. What's going to happen here? I can see a million guys playing this for their friend, and they're like, you got to hear this. You know, stay in your seat. Something's about to happen. And they're dicking around in their instruments, you know, like, oh man, don't worry about it. You know, this is like loading the gun. Oh, there you go.
Are you ready?
Yeah. This is undeniable. This track is great.
This is a good track.
This is a good track. I think if there's the one thing though that did take me, like, occurred to me right away though when listening to it though, is that Korn's inherent failure though is that I love it when they're fast and then they're always like, we gotta slow it down for the misery, you know?
Yeah.
So like this part's gonna continue, but then it's gonna come to a stop for a little mid-tempo mooning about. There you go. You know, which I always remember thinking, even as a kid, like, this is my favorite part of the song, but it'll be over soon, and then they'll speed it up again. So, yeah. So, Blind, classic track.
I agree. I think this, like, really, like, within the first minute, you can already tell, like, Jonathan Davis is either going to be yelling at you through his teeth with them gritted,
Yes.
or, like, from the very back of his throat.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, I think he tires himself out.
Oh,
like,
he's got it.
He doesn't pace well.
I was thinking on the drive here, I was listening to, God, probably Lies. I don't know. But he was just going, heart. And I was like,
yeah,
how, like, to do that night after night, you know, during shows. I mean, it just made me think about just, like, in general being a metal singer and, you know, what does that do to your throat? You know?
Lots of throat coat tea, I bet.
Yeah. Okay. So second song, Ball Tongue.
Oh boy, what is a ball tongue?
I always took it to be either we're talking about a tongue piercing, or we're talking about someone licking someone's balls with their tongue.
Oh, See, I thought of a ball gag.
Oh. And see, the funny thing for me on this one is that I already feel like this song is like not even half as good as Blind.
I like this riff.
You like this riff?
I like this
Okay.
riff.
This is the other thing I thought, and I wrote this down. I'm just going to read what I wrote in the riff. I said, no disrespect, but this album might be the same riff 12 times.
Oh, yeah. Every single song on this album is the same.
And I feel it might be a budget choice. Like, you know how normally, like, oh, give me the other guitar. Like, they had one guitar, and then everything was tuned to chunk.
Okay,
Yeah.
I could see that.
But
you know what? I think you're right about ball tongue because the chorus is ball tongue. You got the dikes off. I think they'll mind me. Here we go. There we go. Whoa.
okay,
Congrats, you just fucked up my makeup and shit.
that.
You know what?
Wow.
That's something that I may have said to somebody in my life.
Congratulations.
You just fucked up my makeup and shit. Like maybe, I don't know. Maybe I was being a little too hard on Johnny Daves.
Well, okay. Now the end of this song, I believe, is the sound of just a clanging. Is that can we get to like the last like 15 seconds or so of this song?
Verify the clang.
I want to because yes. And basically this song, yeah, that's the sound, is basically that's Slipknot, right?
Yeah.
Slipknot taking a baseball bat to a bin or something.
Probably.
And then there's a bunch of riffs later on. I wish the run from Predictable to Fake to Lies might as well be the same song. But I know there's one where it's like, oh, this could be the opening riff of Surfacing or something. So good on Korn for influencing that.
Well, I think, yeah, Korn influenced a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them.
Track 3, we've talked about it. Need To. I like this one better than Ball Talk. It's just faster, better drums. What do we think of David as a drummer?
I'm not really moved either way.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't feel like he's. I don't know. I've only seen Korn live once, and David wasn't there. They had Faith No More as drummer, and all I heard about when I went to school the next day was that dude fucked up Blind. That's all I heard.
Oh, well.
So, I mean. So I guess he is in a level irreplaceable, except that they did eventually replace him.
Sure. So there you go.
My understanding is David left the band to be a restaurateur.
I mean, you can still yell at people as a restaurateur.
This is true.
So.
This is true. He always seemed like the odd man out in the group because he was the only guy who had what I consider to be normal hair.
Well, he's a drummer. He's like hidden behind like a
That's true.
bunch of drums, so he doesn't need to have crazy hair.
That's true. It'd probably get in the way.
Probably would.
Yeah.
Probably would. Did you know that Stained covered this song?
Interesting note on this. When I saw Korn, they stopped their show in the middle to have Stain come out to cover this song.
Oh.
It was the weirdest thing to
Okay.
be watching a band and then for them to have their opener come out to cover one of their own songs. It was inexplicable then. It's still inexplicable. It's been 16 years. I don't know.
Maybe it was like the way that many bands, as they age, have to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they were like, we're Korn. We don't want anybody to know that we need a break. So maybe if we can get Stain to come out here and play this song, then people will be like, whoa, that was cool. But then they still get a break.
Well, I remember that was the Issues tour. This is already H.R. Geiger mic stand for Jonathan.
What is it called? Like Queen Bitch or something like that?
See, I didn't even know it had a name.
It does have a name.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on, I'll find it.
Okay.
It's just called The Bitch. She's
Bitch.
not Regal. I'm sorry. I added that. It's just The Bitch.
The bitch. Oh, that's great.
He had the bitch.
Oh, man. Yeah, but also my understanding is that Jonathan Davis has monitors with the lyrics of the songs.
Okay.
So when he does Need To, he has a screen that says fuck, 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 fuck.
Good. That would make it, assuming at Return of the Dreads that he does play Need To.
Oh, man.
I'm going to have myself a nice chuckle about that. I'll be like, I know what this looks like. I see you.
Okay, going back, I know it end at the end of Blind, and there's another song that end with like a sort of like funk, sort of like.
Yeah.
Is that the best that Korn's ever been?
Probably.
Yeah, I like when it happened, I was like, this is loose and fun. They never do this.
I think that like the beginning of Clown, which is the next song on the album, like they try to show a little bit of their playful side, but it's totally like the playful side of like an unhinged dude that like lives in his mom's basement, covered in cigarette butts and Mountain Dew, and like he has like weird hemp necklaces and like I'm just thinking of the people that I knew that had this album, and I was just like, yeah, this is how they joke around. Just I don't know. Yeah, I guess their funky stuff is when they get a little bit playful, but I don't know. I can't imagine them like truly having a sense of play. You know?
Yeah. It is tough. I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of like later albums where you could describe them as. I mean, the thing is, listening to this album, this is definitely an album recorded in studio live.
Oh yeah.
You know, like they weren't, you know, having time or like, hey, this guy's gonna record his and we'll put it together in Pro Tools. This one has, so they don't sound as tight. Like there are some parts where I think it's once again that predictable fake lies run where at some point I think Jonathan Davis does one of his like go, and it's, you can tell like the whole idea is for everyone to pivot in this other direction and really real tight, but they don't quite make the turn. Like they're not quite there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear the beginning of Clown.
My body. All right, go.
Oh yeah, this is
Or
yeah,
or calls him a piece of shit
and a whore.
Oh, hey, what are you talking about, Ross?
Just some bros hanging out.
Well, here I like here like they're essentially making fun of their own sound right here.
Just fucking do it, damn it!
Oh. I feel like he's here with me yelling.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, John.
Hear it?
Jesus, dude.
All right.
Fuck you.
Oh,
Fuck you.
See,
pretty cool.
This is definitive fuck yous right here. This is like define people's lives fuck yous.
Okay. Piece of shit.
Oh, this is definitely the same.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that pluck? How do you feel about that pluck?
It's fucking dorky. It's a dorky pluck. Okay, so here's where my heartstrings start being a little pulled. Like,
okay.
So apparently this song is about an incident that happened in San Diego where a skinhead tried to like beat up Jonathan Davis, but he dodged him and it turned into this like big thing. So this whole song is about how this dude's like hidden behind all his skinhead tattoos and he's like a poser, which of course in the day of 1994 to be called a poser was the worst insult of all.
Absolutely.
But so I took like to interpret this as he's like anti-skinhead, and I'm like, all right, well maybe he's like anti-racist. So maybe he's like not that bad, you know? None of like that, you know, just like reading about how Jonathan Davis was like picked on so much in school because he was like super into Duran Duran, and like
what a thing.
The first thing that like really captured his attention for music was like I think it was Jesus Christ Superstar I read.
Okay.
So this dude, he was just, I don't know. I feel like this is what you get when you bully kids who are into Duran Duran. It's like bully a kid who's into Duran Duran, sprinkle a little cocaine on it, and you get Korn. That's like
I think with this one, I think the oral history says they were all high on methamphetamines when they made this album.
Oh, that does not surprise me.
Yeah. Now the thing about this song was that when it gets to the, I don't know if it's we don't even want to call it the hook or whatever, but he says, "Clown, you ain't shit. Turn around, get your face split."
Yeah.
And he says it again. And then he says, "Girl, you ain't shit. Turn around, get your face split." And I was like, where's the girl? Who's this girl all of a sudden?
Probably the skinhead's girlfriend.
Okay.
But I mean, he still shouldn't hit her.
Right. It's funny, like you have the lyrics in front of you, you have the backstory. I'm literally driving in my car and I was like, is this about girls who wear too much makeup who said no to Jonathan Davis? Like that's what I was like, is that what this song's about?
Yeah. I mean, these lyrics, to be fair, somebody transcribed them. They might not be completely accurate. But yeah, hit me, clown, because I'm not from your town. Hit me, clown.
No.
Yeah, that's
really?
what it says, yeah.
Wow. I think this is one of those ones where you can't understand the lyrics and it works out well for you.
Yeah. Well, then there's also "Clown, you ain't shit. Turn around, get your face split."
What in general, thoughts on Clown?
This whole album, I have to be honest with you, I thought I was gonna like hear it and have this like resurgence of like, I love this, and like, yeah, man, like I see why I like it. And Blind, sure. The rest of it, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I've listened to it too much, but Clown, I'm just like, dude,
right?
Why don't you just walk away from the skinhead? and not write a whole song about it.
This is a good idea.
Walk away from the skinhead. But that would not have made an exciting song. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next one, Divine, which, listen to this one. This has strong open. We're moving. This is good tempo. I'm enjoying this. I like the riff, but I mean, it's the same riff.
Yeah.
But the thing is about this is this has strong verses. These verses are strong.
Okay.
I don't mean like lyrically. I mean like the mood, the vibe. I'm more of a vibe guy on this one, you guys. All right. So the vibe on this is like, yeah. But then we get to the chorus, and this is the chorus. Whose idea was this chorus?
Jonathan Davis.
To moan this. I don't get it.
He doesn't have good ideas, Lorin. He had one good idea, and it was to screech, "Are you ready?"
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, this. Yeah, I love the verses on this. I really do. Like they get you amped. Like this is like prime. But then this like what is that? That's no good. Like I feel like this is a rare miss in the hook category for these guys because they have generally strong hooks. And I thought this hook kind of was like I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't strong. I mean, there are a few very memorable, strong songs from this album, but I didn't remember that it was so long.
These are long.
This is a long album. This is like when you were making somebody a mix CD and you just got Napster and you're like, well, there are 120 minutes on this CD, so I'm going to fill them all up. Like, you don't have to fill up the whole disc, boys. Like, it's fine. Because this is, well, I guess this was probably a tape at that time. I don't know, but it's very, very, very long.
Well, yeah, there's some songs on here. There's one, I want to say it's Fake. Yeah, Fake is 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Okay. And that song's pretty much done 3:30.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. I mean, at that point, and then the funny thing is that song doesn't end with a definitive end. It's a fade out end, which means they kept playing.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like there might be like a maxi single edit with like 8 minutes, the 8-minute Fake.
The length of this album is 65 minutes and 51 seconds.
And that's with there's like a bonus track.
That's
right?
with the bonus. It's a bonus. We'll get there.
All right, we'll get there.
Thanks, Ross Robinson. Appreciate it.
Oh, Ross, let's talk a little bit about Ross Robinson.
Yeah.
So he is considered the godfather of nu metal.
Yeah.
He produced this album. He produced Limp Bizkit's $3 Bill Y'all. He produced Slipknot's first and second albums. What are some other key albums he produced?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I lost my patience with Ross Robinson after I found out what this hidden track, this bonus. I'm just going to talk about it.
Let's just talk about it. Okay.
At the end of Daddy, which we'll get there, I'm not ready to talk about that yet. You wait, like there was always a hidden track that was like this sweet thing. So you wait and you wait and you wait. And then you get to the end, and it is this recording that Ross Robinson found in an abandoned house of a man and his wife over a Dodge Dart carburetor.
And they're arguing passionately.
He is just yelling at her.
Yeah.
And they're just screaming at each other. And he's like, "You're a difficult woman to live with." This goes on for a while. This is our bonus. This, you know what? I was listening to this and I was just laying around leisurely and I thought it was over and I was like, thank fucking God this is over. That was so long. And I think I sent you a text that was like, this album is too long. Scared the shit out of me. I was not expecting this track. And I just hear a man yelling about a carburetor. And I was like, Ross Robinson, you will pay. It really startled me. It startled me a lot.
It has no payoff. For a hidden track, either you need to really have a really good song hidden back there. Like, I always think the hidden track on Deftones' Around the Fur, which I don't know the name of off the top of my head, but that's a really good hidden track. And then you got to go like 35 minutes in to get to that thing. But yeah, this one's no good. Oh, I don't know if this is tied for this one. This probably might be worse. Do you know the band Ash?
No.
No, they're a British band. their first album's called 1977, and the hidden track on that album is them forcing themselves to vomit.
Oh.
For like 10 minutes.
Okay.
So you just listen to people dry heave. That might be worse than this one.
Okay. I'll give you that. That might be worse.
But this one is definitely, you sit there and you think, there's got to be something to this, right?
Yeah. I'm like, who are these people?
Yeah.
What is this? Who are these people yelling? Are these his parents?
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
after I just listened to this man weep. I'm
Right.
sorry. We're dipping our toes in the daddy pool.
It does also kind of, well, we were saying the Korn's playful side. They've taken you to the depths of Jonathan Davis' psyche. He's weeping on the track, and then you get, I don't know, 10 minutes of silence, and then, an argument between people we don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
We're fun.
You know what's
We're Korn.
You know what's funny?
You know what's funny?
People in miserable marriages. This is hilarious. Listen to these people fight about a carburetor. You guys remember Dodge Dart? All right.
Yeah, we're laughing now, right?
I guess I am smiling for the first time since we sat down and started talking about this record.
All right. Well, diving back into it.
Good Lord.
Good Lord.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I do not approve of this.
This is another one with a really solid open. Like when that riff drops in.
It's coming.
Is it coming? Is it? There it is. Now, okay. Does he say heal?
No.
What does he say?
He's saying HIV like HIV.
No.
That
No.
is what the lyrics say.
Pause the song. Pause the song. He's saying HIV?
That is what the lyrics that I am looking at says.
What website are you on?
It's a very, very official website called lyrics.wikia.com.
Oh, okay.
Transcribed by
Okay.
undoubtedly some like little weirdo somewhere.
Yeah, he's saying him.
He's saying
He's saying him. He's saying him.
This is indefensible.
Oh my god.
Indefensible.
Oh my god.
Terrible.
Wow. This is why we're doing this podcast, because this is blowing my mind right now. We are going deep. This is crazy.
I was not pleased.
That is not good.
I don't know who would
is
be pleased.
That is bad.
It is bad.
That is bad.
Why are we pointing at each other?
I don't know. Oh
We
my
didn't
God.
do this. I mean, I guess we just made people listen to it.
Yes, we did twice.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Sorry. It's
All right.
bad.
Okay.
It is bad.
Right. So did we I can't even remember now. We've been doing the podcast now for about 20 minutes. Did we get to the you can suck my dick and fucking like it? Did we play that already?
Well, I didn't play it.
Please just go away.
I think it's further into the song. I think it's near close. Oh, I think it's around. I look at my car. It's around 3:30. There it is.
You don't know what the hell's up now anyway. You got this pretty boy feeling like I'm enslaved to a world that
None of this makes sense.
shit.
No.
My dick and fucking like it.
It sounds like he's levitating out of the vocal booth.
Well,
Right out of it. Like the mic is just
because he was very involved with Chris Angel's Mind Freak.
Oh.
So
wow.
maybe he was levitating away.
Well, that could be
that whole soundtrack.
That could be it right there.
That Mind Freak song.
So this song definitely indefensible, especially the HIV revelation. Really, that really is.
Yeah.
But the I don't know, that him saying that feels very pure in its anger to me, and the fact that none of the lead up to it makes sense really just adds to my overall thesis that Jonathan Davis just was like working out so much shit on this that at a certain point, that's where the scatting comes in, because he's just spitting emotions, just spitting emotions, and he doesn't have a target. So everyone's a target. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's where he was at.
I agree. Okay. Before I had the HIV revelation,
Okay.
I was feeling for this dude because he looks like the kind of person that you'd make fun of. To be quite honest,
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of him. He doesn't need any more bullying. Obviously, I don't want another album like this. But I was feeling for him, and right at the top of this song, he says, "I'm ugly. Please just go away." And I'm like, "Oh, buddy, like that's sad,
Yeah.
And like everybody can be ugly sometimes.
Sure.
It's like I want to be like, you're not ugly.
Yeah.
You're not ugly.
Mhm.
You're not that bad. The rest of it, I just don't understand. It's like I'm with you, and then you're screaming and pussy and
Well,
good Lord.
the thing is, like, okay, let's say you buy into the idea that what he's saying is like, for one, And I mean, I could be wrong, but is spelled wrong.
It is. I think it's spelled wrong too.
Okay.
I mean, I
All
guess.
right. I mean, he's spelling it wrong, which I feel like is sort of like a pivot of like, oh, we're not talking about gay people. We're talking about me and what I was going through.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, that's kind of what I thought when I saw it was spelled incorrectly as well.
Right.
But the last line of the song.
Yes. This is where I was going.
Yeah. Okay. No, go there.
Is that he says like 6 times or 10 times, whatever.
More than that.
And then he goes, motherfucking queers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought this was about the crap that you were going through. And then it seemed like it you know what it felt like? It felt like a real, and this is going to be, it felt like a real white guy privilege moment. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
White straight guy privilege moment. Like he almost like spun it to like, hey, gay people, look what you've done to me. I've got to deal with this.
I think that it was more of he was trying to fight fire with fire. That's what I thought. I was like, you can't fight fire with fire, John.
That's true.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like he's just like, oh no, these people were being so shitty to me. They were calling me a and like, I don't like that. And then at the end, he's just like, yeah, but you guys are totally.
Jonathan Davis has the letters HIV tattooed on his arm.
Oh no.
That's Korn Song Facts.
Okay.
From songfacts.com. Let me see what other cool info is from Song Facts.
Does it say why? Is this like why?
It doesn't say. I mean, okay. This is a very strange website.
Great. It doesn't help me with this HIV tattoo.
Oh man. Oh. You know what? The comments on this are important. One of my favorite Korn songs I can relate as I was picked on in school and called a quote unquote among other things. I saw them live 3 times, once in 2002, once in 2010, and again in 2011. Unfortunately, they never got to this song. Too bad. They were still great shows. That person's name is Zero from nowhere, New Jersey.
I'll just say it off mic. The second part of the tattoo thing was that was what they called him.
Wait, they called Jonathan Davis HIV?
As a bullying technique.
Wow. So him yelling HIV at the top of the song is him attempting to reclaim his nickname.
Okay.
So this is like when I was in college, I was at a party once and I stuck my head out over a group of people because I'm very tall. And a girl said I look like a giraffe. And so a guy called me Giraffe for like a semester. So that'd be like if I had a song and I led with yelling Giraffe.
Yes, if Giraffe was a terrible virus that had killed thousands and thousands of people.
I don't know why I'm doing this devil's advocate thing. I totally in agreement with you. You know, I'm in agreement. That's I'm gonna Matt, please send me that link because I want to read more of those comments, which are delightful. They're really good comments. I like they never got to this song, which I like that statement. They didn't get to that song as if the band's just gonna play for 6 hours and then somebody's like, sorry guys, hour and a half, you're done. And they're like, we didn't even get to play yet. All right, pack it up, Fieldy.
Oh no, poor Fieldy.
Fieldy, a beloved member of the band.
Yeah.
As we found going through liner notes, we went to the liner notes of which we'll talk about in another episode, but we went to the liner notes of the Limp Bizkit album, and Fieldy is thanked before anybody.
Wow.
Or if he's thanked, it's like, thanks Korn and Fieldy. Fieldy did something for these guys.
I'll tell you what, I like Fieldy.
Yeah?
I do. I'd hang out with Fieldy now.
Yeah?
I would. I think he's just like if there is any playfulness in Korn, it's Fieldy.
You know what? You are right.
His nickname in and of itself just reminds me of just like running through a field because it's Fieldy.
This is true. Have you seen his episode of Cribs?
No.
He seems like the only guy with a sensible family life. Like, I feel like, I don't know what's going on in Jonathan Davis's house and the other guys, but Fieldy was like, oh, my favorite part of it is Fieldy's like, yeah, we're watching Friday, and then we're watching next Friday until the other Friday movie comes out. Like, I was like, wow, this guy, like, so I just imagine him with like one of those like five DVD player spinners, you know, where you just have another DVD just playing, and it's just Friday, next Friday, back to Friday, and then his kid's like, Dad, can we watch something else? And he's like, we got to be ready for when the Friday after next comes out. I don't want to miss a single in-joke or reference.
Fieldy has a tattoo that was done by Fred Durst. Well, Fred Durst still worked in a tattoo parlor.
I heard
it's
a bad tattoo.
Probably. I mean, it doesn't. I wouldn't be like, you know what? I think Fred Durst would give quality tattoos.
Yeah.
Love Fred Durst. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
Tattoos. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also, I like that he went off and like had like a super like religious moment and like wrote a whole book about it.
Fieldy?
Yeah.
No. Head. Fieldy did? Fieldy had a religious moment too?
Yeah.
Holy shit, how many people in Korn had religious moments?
I think a lot of people did.
Wow. What's Fieldy's books called?
Well, Fieldy's book is called Got the Life, My Journey of Addiction, Faith, Recovery, and Korn. And it's just basically about how he found God, quit drugs, and like found the better part of himself. And presumably that's how he wound up with his 5 DVD changer watching Friday.
Okay, so I know this is episode 1, season 1 of this podcast, but I mean, clearly we're going to need to read all these books.
Okay.
Because I know Head's got a book.
Yeah. Well, I heard the Head book is like barely English.
It has a lot of typos.
Okay. Yeah.
Based on my cursory reading. But okay, I'm writing this down. Got the Life by Fieldy. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just got all these facts over here.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. What do we got next? What's the next song?
The next song. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
It's time.
Is it
Ladies
time?
and gentlemen, buckle your safety belts.
Oh,
It's
man.
time for Chutes and Ladders.
Okay, so Korn makes bagpipes cool for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because okay, how have you've seen Korn in concert? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. When they do this song, when he comes down, like when I saw him, he was like lowered down. Like people lost their shit, right?
Yeah, sure.
People got excited. Think about that. For bagpipes. And the thing is, it's not like the bagpipes like rock on this song. They're just the intro. But people get amped.
Well, yeah.
And then the thing with this song is, now we were talking about this, is that I said it doesn't get good until like a minute 50 left. And you think it never gets good.
Well, I said I thought it was generous of you to say that it gets good. It becomes more exciting.
Yeah. But the thing that's amazing is that it has so... Yeah, there isn't a whole lot to this song.
No.
But it gets people amped.
I do remember this getting a lot of people amped.
Yeah.
Just taking in the bagpipes.
Oh.
Here we go.
Familiar riff. Does this remind you of that? You know what? This is a very 90s moment of taking ostensibly innocent words and then saying them in a scary voice. Do you know what I mean? This is like when Tool has the guy talking German on Anima, and it's just a recipe for food.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Jonathan Davis did intend to point out that the nursery rhymes are like super fucked up. Like he was trying to uncover the hidden message in the nursery rhymes. He wasn't just trying to make them sound scary.
But the funny thing is that, okay, Ring Around the Rosie, I know that one is a Black Plague reference.
Yeah.
But Mary Had a Little Lamb?
That one, I'm not so sure.
But that gives us another classic Korn moment. Fast forward to minute, I'd say with like with 2 minutes left of the song. All right. Because he's going to say Mary Had a Little Lamb with such fury and anger that just is like, I feel like it's an incredible moment. I'm just going to throw the word incredible out there.
Okay.
Like every time I hear it, I'm just like, the sincerity in the delivery. Also, this breathing here, like, come on.
I
Oh, no, he's whispering it. He's whispering it.
Oh, yeah.
This is when it gets good. It's good now. No? It's not good now?
It's fine. It's funny. It's funny.
Oh, and then this part coming up here, this is like a scat mumble. Okay, here comes my favorite part. A little limp, so angry. That's just great. That's great. I love that one.
It's funny.
I co-sign Chutes and Ladders.
All right, that's
Yes.
fine.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so when I heard this, when I listened to this, I was reminded of the band Macabre, who are like a thrash band, death metal thrash band from Chicago.
Okay.
And all of their albums are about serial killers, and they do a lot of like really weird sing-songy stuff. And so I was like, I wonder if Jonathan Davis had heard a Macabre album, but I wasn't sure what year some of these albums came out. So I looked it up, and it turns out that Macabre released Sinister Slaughter in 1993, which is when they were recording this. And that's arguably their most popular album. If Macabre has a popular album, which for me they do.
I've never heard of him before you told me about him. So.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. I don't know if maybe that's where Jonathan Davis... I'm not saying he stole the idea, because I'm sure lots of people have tried to be scary with nursery rhymes.
Right.
But it was the first thing that came to mind when he was going hard on Knick Knack, Paddywhack, Give a Dog a Bone. And I was like, you know who does this better?
Macabre. I don't know, but does Macabre do the breathing thing? Like the breathing thing, I really feel sells it. Like
right.
it's like this extra intensity. That's a Ross Robinson touch that I gotta give him. Like, and they said that was the thing. Ross Robinson, when he produced this album, was so mean to them. Like he would just push them and push them. Like that was the thing that they said. Like he was just so aggressive. And so I feel like, yeah, like he was like, let them know how amped you are. That you're breathing hard into the mic, which is like a big studio no-no, but we're keeping it in. You know what? I didn't know I was going to be this impassioned about Chutes and Ladders until we got down here.
That's
but,
okay. We're learning a lot.
I'm liking this one. I like that one.
I really didn't realize how much I hated this album until we sat down and we started to talk about it, and I just immediately got mad. Like I've had a wave of emotions. Let me tell you a kind of embarrassing story about listening to this. So we've been listening to these albums for weeks now.
I want to say we've been listening to these albums for, let's say, at least 3 weeks.
Okay, at least 3 weeks. Now, I don't know if this is related or not, but I've been having like a lot of stress and angst, so I've taken up a meditation practice. I meditate every morning. I do these guided meditations, and I was doing a love and kindness meditation this morning.
Okay.
And it part of it is like asking you to envision people that have caused you some difficulty or maybe aren't your favorite people, and then to like imagine kind things to them. And who popped through my brain? None other than Jonathan Davis. I can't control who I'm like imagining. I'm trying to like totally zone out, seeing like some guy who bummed me out or like someone who was mean to me. And then Jonathan Davis.
Is he in an Adidas jumpsuit?
No, it was just his head. It was like just his head. And I laughed a little bit and I was like, okay, focus on your breath. And I couldn't get it out of my head. So maybe that's why I'm so mad at him now.
Because he ruined your meditation.
He ruined my meditation.
I guess that was the thing. I gotta say, if you're trying to do a meditation and I'm like, hey, go listen to like the first Deftones album and the first Korn album, that's kind of counterintuitive.
It's not at the same time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I guess, I was reading a lot about his past yesterday, and I was like, I guess I do feel like he is somebody who could use a little love. Maybe he's fine now.
Right. Yeah.
So sure, that's great. But I was just like, why am I meditating about Jonathan Davis right now? Not cool.
Okay. Let's dive back in. We got a couple more. This is Predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when I think the album kind of dips into kind of generic town. And somebody said to me, be wary of any album with most of the song titles being one word. And this is a very one-word album, song titles. Yeah. Yeah. This one's... It's serviceable. This feels like filler.
Yeah. Yeah, I get like a watered down Rob Zombie vibe from this song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's all about, I don't know, from what I can tell, not being sure if you want to keep trying. By the end, it's just, I'm going to try. Should I? I'm going to try. Should I? Oh, fuck. I'm going to try. Should I? I'm going to try. Oh, fuck. I'm going to try. But I'm going to die. But I'm going to try.
You know what? Nothing's better for a songwriter when their muse is a shrug.
Yeah, this was like definitely missing a shrug. Although, you know what? I feel that.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes,
it's
like,
relatable.
Should I try? I guess I should try. I guess I'm just gonna fucking die anyway, but I should try, I guess. I mean, maybe I hate it because it's what the inside of my brain looks like.
Whoa.
Maybe I am Jonathan Davis.
That's heavy.
John.
All right, let's next one is Fake. which this could be any song on this album. This one. Yeah, see, and then we fall into this mid-tempo dross, like, you know, like this song, and this song's 4 minutes and 50 seconds. It just feels like, you know, you know what this feels like? Like if you're paddling and then suddenly like you lose a paddle and you're stuck and you're like, I just go in a circle.
You have one oar.
Yeah, one oar.
One oar.
So yeah. This is I think for everything on this album, this is like the musical low point.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something about this song.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
This song is about being true to who you really are.
Really?
Yes, that's what this song is about.
Oh, wow.
So
what a flip on that title, too.
Yes. So, well, no, the person that he's singing about is like fake.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just saying, you're fake. Let it all go. Let it go. Be who you really are. Why are you hiding behind this facade? All right.
I don't know if it's, you know what? Here's the thing. Like I said, I'm very much a vibe guy. I don't always get the lyrics or understand them. I didn't understand them in 1997, and I don't understand them now without having you read them to me.
Listen, I didn't understand them until I started reading them, and that's when I started to have my confusing feelings about this.
Yeah, because I feel, yeah, the surface of it is sort of like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck this guy's saying. I appreciate the message.
Sure. It's not, I mean, I've found the message better delivered in other places.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm trying to find some good in this.
Yeah.
I am trying to find some happiness here.
Yeah. Okay, track 10 is Lies. Okay, now this is Slipknot. Slipknot totally lifted this.
Yeah.
And then they got that boom, you know. This one, actually, maybe I was wrong. This Lies might be pretty good. Yeah, this one's better. You know, you hear a little bit of that clunky bass feely in there. Notice that the sound of this band is so close to literally just being clicks and pops.
Oh, yeah.
Like to search inside with the things that you hide. What's the problem? Can't you seem to set these problems that hunt?
This part hasn't aged well, but I think the chorus is good. I just listened to my car like 5 minutes ago, but you know. Oh yeah, I see.
They're all the same.
I like this. This is good. I like this part. I like that growling, which at first sounds like somebody left a window open, but then you realize it's a growl. It's something different. Yeah, I like that one. That one's good. Now, what's this song about? Is it about lying?
I'm sorry. I'm still laughing at the growl. These fucking nerds. Dude, just growl in the microphone. Be like real mad, John. Growl.
Do whatever. Do what Ross says, man. Just growl. He won't let us go home until you growl.
God. Yeah, it looks like this is also about somebody who's just like living in fear and kind of ruining his life a little bit. Although there is a creepy line in here. Open your body and let me touch you. It's a question. I don't know.
Wait, that's a question?
It's a question.
It's said as a question?
It's said as a question.
So open your body and let me touch you?
Yeah, I was like, no. No. Gross. What are you doing?
That seems to be like a pretty common metal type of lyric, though.
What, like open your body and let me touch you?
I feel like it is in a weird way. You know what I mean? Either in a metaphorical way or in a Cannibal Corpse, let me open your body and I'm going to touch your guts.
You know, here's the difference. I love metal. Okay,
you do,
really do.
You do.
And the difference between a band like Cannibal Corpse and a band like Korn is that Cannibal Corpse takes it to a place that is so cartoonish and obviously fictional.
Yeah.
These are obviously just dudes writing about like scary, gory shit. Like Jonathan Davis might actually, I just imagined him trying to like peel open my body and just put his hand in there. Like this, it's so grounded in reality that it is like, ugh, it like squicks me out. But like I could totally go listen to like Autopsy or Cannibal Corpse.
There's a band called Autopsy?
Yes, there's a band called Autopsy.
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
I can listen to like to any of that and not at all. I mean, like, of course, some of the stuff with women is problematic, but that's just like a a dust that is all over society as a problematic relationship with women, but it's so far outside of reality that it doesn't like freak me out or gross me out.
Right. And these guys, they have much more of like a, oh no, this guy, like if I saw him on the street, I should probably cross the street.
Yeah. Like maybe Jonathan Davis is a little sweetie. Maybe they're all little sweeties.
Well, I mean, he's got to be. He's rich now. So,
that's true.
Yeah.
He has to become. But like when I listen to something like this, it feels more. It does feel like more raw, like more like actual raw anger from somebody.
Right.
And so that's why it's gross, and that's why it's okay for like the wretched spawn to have just like a woman ripping babies out of her like gross body. So I don't know.
Okay. All right. I still like that song.
All right.
I don't know if that was up to debate. I think that one seems pretty good to me.
All right.
All right. Track 11.
Helmet in the bush.
Hello?
Oh, this is a little more Korn being fun, joking around. This guy, I believe, is thanked in like all the liner notes.
You know, you fucking call me
person.
Tacaco? Okay?
I think Caco's cocaine.
See, I feel like such a nerd when I say something like, oh, isn't that a guy? No, Lauren, they're thanking drugs.
I think so. I might be wrong. I might be like a mom. Like, I think that's drugs.
No, I think you're right. I mean, we should get a ruling on that.
Well, this song is about Jonathan Davis's drug abuse problem.
Oh, okay. Is this about he was on drugs, so it makes his dick go back into his body?
What?
I don't know. No, I'm thinking like maybe that's the problem. Is that like he's on these drugs and it's making his genitals shrink up or something?
Okay, the helmet in the bush.
Yeah, like it's going back into his pubes. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought maybe he was like a soldier in the war with drugs and he was just in the bushes.
I don't know. Like, even as a kid, I remember thinking, helmet in the bush seems... That can't be talking about an actual helmet going into an actual foliage.
This is just one in a series of things that I have misinterpreted.
I like that you're like, this is maybe about a military. I
thought he was at a war with himself with the drug.
Oh, so you're saying like, well, then really it should be like, you know what? You know what I think it is? That is what he's going for. But helmet in a trench doesn't quite work. And helmet in a bush also has that sexual implication to it. Maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to find out if any one of us are right here. And there's nothing nothing definitive. But it does say that this is about his drug abuse and the fear that gripped him in the height of his drug problem.
Well, then this also makes then your Kako thing is probably right.
Yeah, I think my Kako thing is right, but I think my helmet.
So this is what that probably is a guy talking in code about drugs. Is that what that voicemail message is?
Probably. Maybe not even in code, just in Spanish, which is basically in code to me.
Code to me.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you know what we got to get Russ Robinson on the show.
Oh yeah.
I know it's episode 1, and we shouldn't be talking about trying to get people on the show, but I really feel like he would be able to just tell us so much.
I think he'd be able to tell us a lot.
Yeah.
We'll have to find.
I follow him on Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, well, just hit him up.
I'll hit him up. Okay. I like this song.
I you know what, I like this song.
I like this one. It sounds different-ish than the other songs.
I agree.
Which is a plus.
I agree. And when you're this deep into the album, there's really only one track left. And by the time you've kind of like trudged through the middle,
yeah,
when this comes on, it's like very refreshing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm getting
incoming news.
Oh, here we go. Jonathan Davis said, "It's about a speed problem that I had. You know, do a lot of speed, and if you're a male, your penis retracts severely."
What?
There we go.
Is that true?
According to Jonathan Davis, it happened to him, and he blamed the speed.
Oh my god.
So the song is about literally his
helmet in the bush.
Helmet in the bush.
Well, geez, I guess I gave him a little too much credit.
I like that. You're like, it's about war.
Well, dude, you know what? I was trying. Yeah. I listened to this so many times. I had to try to make it something. All right. I've gone through a lot of emotional phases listening to this.
I think you just killed Matt telling him.
Yeah. Well, I think Matt might. I think we might be slowly killing Matt just by doing this.
All right. Well, we are on track 12, final track of the album.
Oh boy,
Daddy. Oh man, I used to. Full disclosure, I would stop listening on this song.
Yeah, man.
I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm all set on this album. Like, I listened to it one time, and then I was like, yeah. And what's funny is that when they only played it in concert like once or twice.
Yeah.
And then they did the tour where they played the whole album in its entirety. So then they did it every night. Every night!
That's too many.
What's he gonna... I'm worried, now that I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking, man, what's Jonathan Davis gonna be like at Return of the Dreads? Is he gonna be like a husk because of that tour where he had to do this song every night?
Is he gonna bring Daddy to the Dreads?
I hope not.
I hope not too. I think if he does, then we have to like go. That is like time to dunk our head in a beer.
That's well, I think everybody who's like, yeah.
That's why you got to get off the fucking hill. You got to get off that hill.
Yeah, we have general admission to Return of the Dreads, by the way. We didn't get seats.
No. We had a Groupon.
Yeah, we did. And also we wanted to be with the people.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Only way to see it.
So we can turn to everybody and go, you guys know what Helmet in the Bush is about?
Yeah. Oh, I'll be telling people fun facts whole time.
Okay, I was going to use the word admire. I don't know if it's the word. I respect the message of what he's going for, that he is using this song as catharsis, but this is a bad song.
I don't even know if it's a bad song because I can't listen to it without having way too many feelings. I do not remember listening to this when I was younger. I only remember, I remember that Daddy was a song that was a thing, but I do not remember listening to it, and I'm not sure if it's because I blocked it out because it was, too fucked up for me to handle or what.
I know that I gave it, the whole album a one-time listen, and I know that once she's getting to, sobbing, I remember being in, 9th or 10th grade and going, I don't need this. I'll pop on Foo Fighters.
Well, the first time that I listened to this from front to back, again, as an adult, it was just on when I was doing other things. And I wasn't really paying attention because by this point I was like, this album is never going to end. I didn't realize I was on the last song. And I was just like, you guys need to fucking wrap it up. But I did notice it when he started crying. And I just wrote down on a sticky note, what the fuck am I listening to? Mm-hmm. And I don't know where that sticky note is, but I can't wait to find it again. But I was like, this is the note I need to make at this time. But when I went through and listened to it on my headphones, I was like, I don't want to be listening to this. These are bad lyrics. And then I kept listening to it over and over again. And I was like, ugh, why?
Jeez.
Why? Yeah, I had a real moment.
Yeah, when I did my first re-listen to this, I was actually running errands for my wife, so I was driving around town listening to this album, and my last stop is I had to get her contacts from an optical store, and this song was on when I pulled up, and it had just started, and I was like, all right, got that to look forward to when I get back into the car. And I get back in the car, and I'm sitting in traffic, and I'm just he's weeping, and I'm like, what is this fucking song? What is this album? It's such a... I'm not enjoying this. Isn't aged well.
No, it does. It's not good, but what you have to look forward to is the bonus track. That bonus track.
Oh man, here we go. What I imagine is that was between tracks, chilling in the studio. They loved it. That was their thing. This was their I don't know if you have the same thing. When I was in middle school, I went to band camp. And the Adam Sandler albums were out, and we listened to those on repeat forever.
Sure.
I don't even know if necessarily anything on those is funny anymore. No, is it? No, I'm getting yes. You literally gave your head a swivel. Some of it is, some of it isn't. But yeah, some of it is just people yelling, Adam Sandler yelling in voices. And I feel that's the joy that the Korn got out of that. Was this
the Korn?
The Korn. What Korn got out of that was just I just see them all giggling between meth hits.
Yeah, sure, I can see that. I mean,
it's still terrible.
Ross Robinson did find it in an abandoned house, and I guess if I found something in an abandoned house and it had that on it, I might be like, okay, I want to say that I would have like the self-awareness to be like, nobody needs to hear this. But
You might.
we're recording this right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, I'd put it in there.
Yeah.
I would put it in there.
Okay, so the idea of the show is to determine a nu-metal canon. So basically saying this is a piece of work that well represents the genre. And when we pick this, and I think we agreed, we thought this is a shoo-in.
Yeah.
Like this is a no duh.
Yeah.
Like this is where you start.
Sure.
But having listened to it as many times as we have, and having this discussion, I don't think I'd put it in it.
You wouldn't put it in at all?
I'd put Blind in.
Okay.
I think Blind is a song, but as an album, they got better.
Yeah. I agree with you. I also felt like it was a shoo-in. You know what? I would go so far as to say as at the beginning of this recording, I would have said that I would feel like we should put it in the canon absolutely.
Right.
But as we went through, my anger rose and rose to the point where I said, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably just Blind.
Chutes and Ladders.
Fine.
Give me Chutes and Ladders.
I'll give you Chutes and Ladders, but I'll remember this.
Oh.
And I'll come back to
you're gonna
reclaim
come back
this
to
for trap.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I really did think it was going to be a shoo-in, and it's maybe it's just you become an adult and you experience some things and you realize some of this I can't abide.
Yeah.
Content wise, I'm a vibe guy, but even the vibes are kind of off. I do admire the fact that this is such a visceral vocal performance that feels very authentic. Do you agree?
I agree with that.
Yeah. And I think, and a couple years ago, I did a re-listen of the entire Korn discography. And the thing that struck me, I know. That was just something I wanted to do. I remember I told some people I knew and they were like, all right. Yeah. They didn't know why I did it.
Well,
the thing that I noticed right away, like immediately diving into Life is Peachy at the time, was it was like, oh, he's not that mad anymore, but he's trying to find it. And it's not quite there. Like he's trying to find that anger. It's not, you can't do it. You know what I mean? It's that old, you've got your entire life to write your first album and then, 2 years to write your second album. But it really is also, he was the Duran Duran fan getting made fun of. And then he made this album and then
he was the coolest guy.
He was the coolest dude. Fred Durst coming up to him saying, can I give you a tattoo? He's like, no, go to Fieldy.
Yeah. I just want to give you a tattoo. Please.
Yeah, please.
That's like a nice thing to say to somebody. Lauren, I just want to give you a tattoo, please.
No.
No, come on.
So yeah, I mean, I guess to start this off, it's so funny because the whole thing was like Korn by Korn. It's an underrated gem, but it's not. I think it's kind of properly rated. So yeah, I would say I wouldn't put this one. I'd put Blind. I put the song Blind, Chutes and Ladders, but as the album as a whole, I would not.
Agreed.
There we go. And that brings us to the end of episode 1. Thank you so much for listening. Coming soon, episode 2, as we dive more into the Nu-Metal Canon. My name is Lorin.
I'm Jen, and big, huge thanks to Matt Noss
for
allowing us in his lovely home.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you for letting us record here, and really appreciate it. And we'll see you all again soon.
Bye.